quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack.
This time.
Nah, with the feeling this.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Yeah, only for a minute. Just want to state the mind. Yeah, it's hard to like you be. Only for the minute. Wagwan, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's your life? How's your wife? How was your week? I'm back, baby. Long time no see. I know, Spin. How you all doing? How's everyone doing? How was your week without me? Did you all enjoy your week without me being here? Because hear me out. Just saying, cheese is just a loaf of milk. So all I can say, and with that chat, goodbye. I couldn't be done even if I wanted to be. But today was great. I had 9 people looking at a screen for you. That is great. But welcome in, chat. I hope you had an amazing week. I know I've been gone. I can elaborate on that a little bit. We're going to catch up a little bit. First things first, I'm the realist. I've got my phone in my hand, chat, just because I got 408 invites to join somebody's live stream. Let's not do that. Let me show you where I've been and why I was gone. It's first time in 5 months that people looked at a screen for you. And guess what? You did it. And I'm proud. I don't know what you did, but you did something. And I'm proud of you, Kieran. But right, let me get the picture because it's where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot eat. I cannot sleep tonight. Miss you forever and always. I don't stop promote. Listen, if I'm asking it, I'm more than welcome to listen to you saying it. You can promote if I'm asking about it. It's fine. So, chat. This is a wait for it. Wait for it. That was my eyes. That was my eyes a week ago. So I couldn't see. I went blind in both my eyes a little bit. So. Excuse me. Lordy Almighty, have Lord's death resting on our souls, you know. I did my first stream in 5 months. I'm proud of you, Kieran. That's kind of cool, though. That's cool. Where have you been? Haven't gotten any notifications about you streaming. I know, Tyson. Okay. Will you please be... Why? Who's been arrested? Is it drug-related crime? We don't do any of that over here, chat. So, where have I been for the past week? Where did I go? So, as you noticed, the picture that I just showed you guys of my eyesight, I went to a doctor and he was like, hey, we're going to give you some eye drops, however, for your own mental health. Because all I've done for the past, like, month, maybe even 6 weeks, all I've done is sit in front of my screen all day, every day, record videos, edit footage, go live, blah, 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 blah. That's all I've done. That is all I have done non-stop. No, we don't have any drug labs. No, we only have tea labs. We make cups of tea in it, bruv. I order my coffee in one of these every day, and it is £6 for 250 milliliters of coffee, because that's central London, baby. It's terrible. However, I digress. So my doctor was like, hey, you're depressed. I was like, haha, no. And he went, haha, yes. So I took a week. I went back to go visit my parents. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any work. I just relaxed and stayed with family. We went out and went to a restaurant every day because they were happy to see me. Ooh. So yeah, I went back home for the week. I got to see a lot of family that I don't get to see normally. Kind of had some fun, relaxed a little bit, and then realized when I came back to London, I'd realized to myself, I was like, huh, I needed that break. So now I've come back. Now I'm really happy. Now I'm cool. Now we're all dandy, and it's been really cool. However, I am going to be launching a new team soon. Let me just pull up my Discord onto another monitor so I don't constantly view check. Otherwise, I'm going to get upset. Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Over here. Okay. So, spin. No, there we go. So, I'm going to be launching a content creator crew soon, right? Which is going to be 7 or more content creators who are going to be filming like 3 to 4 times a week. We make channel videos, we hang out, we chill, we make cool, funny, haha videos on stuff like Content Warning, Gartic, Uno, Golf with Friends, Lethal Company, Among Us, all of the fun jazzy stuff, and everybody do tea, and we all drink. I drink tea. I do like a good cup of tea, but that's because I'm very British, you know. So I do like myself. I'm yawning because I need tea. That's it. Can we drive people insane? We can always drive people insane, Tyson. That's the point of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the children, and then we're going to go to France, and we're going to dump the French into our teacups like a spicy grain of rice. Don't say you've never considered doing it before. We've always considered tea. And that's it. So, but the goal is, so I can say we are launching a content creator team. There's going to be 7-ish. All of a sudden I'm tired. There's going to be 7-ish of us who are going to be in this team. One of those people being, hi Sid, hope you have a good break. I did, Cookie. I had an amazing break. I got to see family. We took a lot of pictures. We went out for dinner. it was really cool. And then I came back, and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to stream for 2 days while I'm back. I want to just vibe a little bit. So I did. And then I went to Hyde Park. I had some picnic with one of my friends. And then it was really fun. We chilled. And then today I got myself a pizza. I went for pizza. Chat, if you don't follow me on Instagram, by the way. Oh my god. Does it say that? Yeah, there you go. Don't forget, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you'll see what I do with my day-to-day. When I'm not live and I'm not uploading content, if you want to see like the day-to-day behind-the-scenes shit, you can just go follow the Instagram. It's on there. And I'm verified. Who knew? The thing that I don't do anything on, it's in... I spend too much time on Instagram. I do. But today, finger hearts for you, Spin. Just for you. So today is going to be not a short stream per se, but it's going to be shorter just because today I wanted to just come on and tell everybody, hi, I'm doing good. I was taking a week, roughly a week off. I'm yawning. Oh my god. Ugh. Why am I yawning so much? I've been fine all day. I've sat down and all of a sudden my head's like, please just wait a second. Please just wait 2 seconds, brother. Please. We need to remember the 5th of November. So today is just a, hi, I'm doing good. I am coming back again. I just took the week off. I just needed a mental break. So something you'll be awake. I think, you know what? It's you saying tea is making me sleepy because I need tea. Reading you say tea in my chat is making me yawn so much. Right, I digress. I'm not looking at chat now. I'm just looking directly at the camera. Camera, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, camera. I'm also looking at the camera over here. I went away for a week, chat. I was mentally drained. I was getting... What's the word I'm looking for? I was getting burnout very quickly. So... a lot of friends had reached out to me, a lot of content creators had also reached out to me, and even family had reached out to me and was like, I hope you're doing okay. I've just read the word tea again. Oh, there it is. Why does it make me yawn? Why? Why is that a thing that makes me yawn? Why do I yawn at the word tea? That's weird. We can't do that. Anywho, so I took the week off. A lot of people reached out to me, was like, hey, you good? I was like, not really, but you know what, we persevere. So now we're here. Now I am live again. I took the week off. Hi, I'm good. I'm happy again. But I had to take 2 more days off just so I could like come back to London and enjoy the sun a little bit because, oh my god, the weather is amazing. Look. So that's what it was. It's been cool. But updates, chat. 2 major points to make. Number 1, the Minecraft server is doing amazing. We are going to be running, and I'm going to be promoting this inside of Discord as well, is we're going to be promoting another beta round soon, right? Now, everything's been updated. We now have animations. We can now gritty. We can do all of the gritty stuff. We can do emotes. We have... There's too much to kind of like describe in one thing. I will do a update video on stream, and then we will also then go the next day. We'll go straight into more testing. It'll be kind of cool. I need to see. Whoa. Is that a cloud wall in the background? This. Also, bless me. Sorry. When you want to do all the things, but also battery needs recharge, take good breaks when you can. Yeah, I needed to do a lot of really cool things. And then my social battery died. I just had to run away. It's not. It's a projector screen. See? Yeah. It's all the illusion, bro. Don't worry. I made it all so elusive. Everything's just it's what would my stream be if it wasn't? Oh, everything is a massive illusion, and we're all so happy about that. However, why am I so tired yet? Oh my lord. So, Minecraft server. We are now back up to 1.2. 1.20.1, I think we're now on. We now have a lot of new mods. A lot of old mods got scrapped. There's a complete new mod pack. We have better camera shits going up balls. We have... Hi, dummy. Animation, like dances that you can now do. You can now do emotes. There's loads of change. Too much to like go over in stream over one time. I'll have to get everything sorted, and then we can talk about it. Distance Horizons is the biggest update. In fact, one thing I can show, I got song requests. What's your song request, dog? What is your song request? Right, let me see if I can pull up this image. Oh, 100% Under the Sea. Life's getting better if she is wetter. Take it from me. What? Search for a image, and Zine's probably going to come up with the image. In fact, one thing I will say. Why are you on so much, bro? I don't know, because I'm not tired. NDBENDNTNC hustler chasing dreams since I was 14. You can now do shiz like that. So, and then there is another main one, which is yeah. Whoa. This one. So you can now see the whole map through Distance Horizons. Everything's preloaded and pre-rendered. You can see everything. Your render distance can be on 2 and you can still see it. What is the server about? The server is a roleplay Minecraft experience, similarly to NoPixel on GTA. This is what this is. It's the Minecraft variant of it, and we've been working on it now for about a month, 5 weeks. Oh, Distant Horizons. Yeah, Distant Horizons in 1.2.1. Not only that, with complementary shaders. Whoa, Distant Horizons is such a nuts. Like this is render distance 2. I can't get them to work. We've got it to work on our server. Complementary shaders, Distant Horizons on the it's amazing. And you can have your render distance set to 2 and it all looks amazing. So those are like the main thing being Distant Horizon, right? That's what I'm most happy about. However, Sasha Tribe, yes, we do. We have, so there is a couple of shaders that are built in with it. It's Bliss, BSL, and Complementary. They're the 3 ones that I know that we have on the server that you can flick between. Either way, you have all of them. And we've got Distant Horizons on the server. It's freaking dope, dude. Not only that, massive overhaul from the last chat. Chat, if you saw it last time in the alpha, wait till we get to Alpha 2. Alpha 2 is absolutely nuts. Nuts. Bliss is nice, but there's not many shadows. Well, Bliss isn't my favorite. Zine's favorite, I think, is Bliss. I think Drew's favorite is also Bliss. Mine is always going to be Complementary. Mwah.
Quack, 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 quack.
Anyway, but I'll have proper updates for everybody, okay? Hello. Hi, guy. How you doing? Welcome, Sin. How's your day? How's your life? How's your wife and kids? Hey, good. Welcome in, dude. How's your day going? So, Minecraft. I'll have a Minecraft update properly ready for everybody for the next stream. Overview, and then we can also go over when we're going to be doing more testing, allowing people to go on, test the server. It'll be kind of dope. I reckon it'll be really cool. Everything's to be like a massive roleplay server as well. Love it, chat. Love the idea of it. Check it about it. Be free. And then finally, the stream team. Talking about the new stream team, I made a stream team. a content crew similarly to... I need to stretch, actually. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, fuck, man. Skip song. So, I'm making a content crew. Similarly to Vanos's gaming is Vanos crew. Similarly to The Crew. Similarly to Sidemen and Beta Squad. I'm making my own. Here's how. We have got 7 content creators. Well, no, we've got 2. Currently, we have 2 of the content creators sorted. Myself and Shados. You've seen Shados before. He's kind of cool. He's kind of funky. This is Shados. On top of that, we've got Fake Shack. Fake Shack's going to come on when he starts doing more content creation. He's going to be starting after he's finished his university exams. Use this as a core. My throat is very sore today. My throat is so sore today. And I'm faking my voice. And this is what it sounds like. Oh. Let me go grab a drink, chat.
Drink water. Become moist.
Let me go get a drink. Oh. I did hydrate. Oh. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm gonna do it again. It's water, by the way, chat. It's not actually. I'm not drinking soda. My throat's in too much pain. Oh, my throat. So, as I was mentioning, what's the point where I can go? The point where we can just go from. We've got 7 content creators. We don't have 7 yet, but we're gonna have 7. Currently, we have Shadows HD. You all know Shadows HD. He's the goofball. We have myself. That's 2. We will soon have Fake Shack, who we all know as Shadows's really other funnier, smaller 4-headed friend. Really cool guy. You should all go check them both out. However, we have a content crew that's coming together. So that's currently 3. We're going to have 7. So this also applies to you. This is kind of a little message to you. If you like games such as Content Warning, Lethal Company, Uno, Golf with Friends, Among Us, Minecraft, and other games that are just as funny, if not just funnier, drop us a DM in Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, you can either join onto my Twitch channel, which is here, which is in the chat now, or you can come by and just join the Discord. Just search up Sintrosity HQ. It's kind of simple, kind of cool, kind of super hot fire though. Join on, talk to us, see who we can get on. Chat, it's going to be really freaking cool, okay? The idea is we have... Oh, do I name drop? Do I name drop the channel yet, chat? Do you guys want to know the channel? Do you guys want to know what it's called? I could just drop the name now. Who knows? Also, this song is super fire, by the way. Just say you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Well, come on, girl. That is amazing. Spin, your sub ran out live in chat. Your sub disappeared in chat. That's so, bro, all of your emotes don't work anymore. Well, come on, girl. Ooh. Deep in her eyes, I see the future. It is a banger, though. You are right. You have every right to be excited because it is a banger song. But you know what I can do that you can't do now, Spin? What, you ready? I can do this. Yeah. You can't do that. I got Tim Aries with the song. So do I. My band covered this while we were doing a show with like 500 people there, and it was amazing. Great song, great players. Tuesday. Great song, great players, great team. That's not how that...
CookieMoki_X gifted SP1NS_X0 a subscription.
Well, I guess that's how it works. You know what? I think
gifted a tier 1 sub to SP1NS_X0.
Thank you,
this
Twitch.
This is their first gift sub in the channel.
Thank you, Twitch, for saying that twice. But also, Cookie, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Spins. Now Spins can sing along to this song. Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance. See, there you go. Now, like I was just mentioning it to you. Is that offensive? I don't care. So, content team, gonna be cool. The team name, I'm going to do a ping on Discord very quickly so I can say this. I'm going to say this very quickly. I've been summoned. Hello, stealth. Who is it? Who's that? I have been... oh, Spins, you're in the Discord server. There we are. Announcing... wait, let me just do another... at everyone. I can't see you, chat. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Announcing... content... crew... name on stream. Can't find out. Oh, I hiccuped and nearly hit enter. Hi JD, how you doing, bro? Welcome, Sin. Right. Let me just go to the Mr. Shadows quickly. I'm vibing, bro. I am. I'm vibing. Do you play Clash of Clans? I actually used to play... I played Clash of Clans back when it was like massive, right? Massive? No. I used to play Clash of Clans when it was early. I meant to say early. I played it a long time ago. And I stopped playing it just because I forgot I existed. I was like, it's growing rapidly right now. I mean, yeah, it's because of the footballer, right? Isn't that why it's huge? It's huge right now. It's so huge. So huge. I can't remember what the footballer's name is, but he's promoting it. Played for like 10 years ago and came back recently. I played it for like 10 years. And then I stopped playing it because I was like, it's too mainstream now. Although a lot of my friends have got like Town Hall level 16, I think it's up to now. I'm like, anybody got time for that? Whoa! Chat, I'm watching because of all like the 1 month subs or like running out and like a lot of them are gifted, I'm watching them go down in tens. That's depressing to look at. I'm gonna go here instead. It's growing before the footballer. I know it was growing anyway, but like they're putting a lot of marketing into like people rather than advertisements now, which is kind of the way forward. It's influential marketing, which is the better way to do it. But each their own. It's grown big to finally learn on it. Also, people quitting because of the footballer. I too would be quitting because of the footballer, because I just don't see. I just don't see the point. You know. It's sellout. Now the game's not about the game. Now the game's literally just about numbers and raking in money. However, chat, I'm gonna skip the song. Boink. Football doesn't fit in. Exactly. What's the game got to do with football? You know? It's got absolutely nothing to do with it. So, I mean, I have 20 accounts. I shouldn't. So, I mean, okay, that's a you problem. However, so chat, listen. We are gonna call ourselves, and I'm gonna be announcing this in a couple of seconds. Here's the deal. The content crew is going to be called the Syndicate. We're calling ourselves the Syndicate. That's it. The name of the content crew, we're called the Syndicate. The Syndicate crew. That's what we are. There's going to be 7 of us. It's going to be cool. We're going to be uploading different kind of content, whether that be on Midnight Ghost Hunt. That's the game I want to play. I love the game. I think it's a funny prop hunt. I play too much cock. Wow, really? Is that true, Kieran? You play so much cock, bro. I'm sorry, dude. A criminal syndicate, and you wonder why we sent you into jail. Not a criminal syndicate. We are just an organization of people who work under one influence. A greater good, if you will. Yeah, 20 accounts of cock is a lot. That is. Who's all in it? So, JD, there's currently 2 people who's in it other than myself. We've got Shadows HD, myself, and then Fake Shack is going to be joining when he starts doing content creation more full time. I am going to start looking for people who want to start joining in, who can match. There is going to be an obvious standard that everybody has to like abide to. There has to be a standard of content you go to, standard of microphone, blah 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 blah. Like there's going to be rules and stipulations, but at the current moment there is 2 other people, and other than those 2 other people, I'm quite okay with just I'm scouting very early on days. I haven't got all of the people in. I just know we're called the Syndicate crew. I've got some people in mind. I've got some people confirmed. We've got the games confirmed, and it's all going to be uploaded onto the crew YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, all of that jazz. I was working on it last night with Shadows HD. Shadows HD. It was cool. We had some good fun. Sounds good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I think the content we're gonna make is gonna be kind of cool. There's a lot of like statistic behind it that's gonna be like really boring to try and explain on stream, and I get that, but I'm not gonna do it. That's just mean spin. I don't know why it's making me yawn. Chat. Why is the word tea making me yawn so much? Am I that much of a caffeine addict that the word tea is just making me... How do I suddenly have a donut with white cream? Because, Spin, you might have missed out. However, Cookie gifted you a tier 1 sub, so you now have the sub badges back. I'm a math guy. I want to hear about the statistics. The mathematics is simple, right? The mathematics is, if we have 7 content creators, I'm going to do this on my calculator live with you all, right? So chat, watch. Here is the maths. The math is simple. Are you ready? So here's the math. We have 7 content creators. Each one of those content creators should be producing 5 TikToks a day. There we go. That makes 35. Each video per day should be averaging about 500 views per day per video. Times that by 500 views. This is how many views per day we should be getting, right? 500 times 5. That's 5 days in a week. You know what I mean? So just to run over with that again. 7 content creators. 5 per 1 day. 500 views. Look what you can do. Wow. And then there's 500 views per video per day. We're going to times that by 7 for 7 days in a week. And we're going to times that by 4 for 4 weeks. This is how many views YouTube Shorts should be giving us per month at 500 views per video. Every single video I've ever released, even if it's on a new channel or old channel, they all get at least 500 views, or at least roughly between 300 to 500 views on YouTube Shorts. Don't believe me? Chat, go over onto the socials. Go check out Tintrosity Plays. It's the second channel that we got there. They average between 300 to 500. So, that's what we should be doing minimally, right, on YouTube Shorts. My goal is to have... Everybody is going to be making content, right? Everybody. Everybody will streaming. Everybody will be making videos together, and it'll be cool. We'll have a lot of fun. But everybody should also be releasing YouTube videos. So YouTube videos on their channels and on the team channel, as well as on the team TikTok and their TikTok, and so forth, so forth. Other ones. That's the math behind it. So we could grow very fast. If we've got 7 content creators, and each one of those content creators has 15 people in their chat, we've got 105 people in everybody's chat. We're all partners. Is that not just a win? You're a Twitch partner straight away. Everybody watches everybody's streams. You see, it's a win. I don't see the loss here, chat. You've got 7 content creators with 7 people in each other's chat. That's 49 people in their chats. I don't see how that's a loss. We're all funny people. It'll be funny. The point of it is being, it's going to be fun. We'll have a good time. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so freaking fun, dude. So freaking fun. There we go. I understood 1% of it. Exactly. It's okay. It's not meant to be something that everyone can understand. Basically, a lot of videos, a lot of content on everybody's channels and on one channel at the same time. A lot of views, a lot of subs, a lot of people. That's it. We're just going to grow massively with it, and that's the goal. The goal is to have a lot of people having a fun time all together. We're just making a Sidemen channel. That's the easiest way you can put it. We're just making a Sidemen, what we're called the Syndicate. So that is how we're going to be doing it. I should have got a coffee or a tea. Should have did that, shouldn't I? This is a vibe as well. A lot of people, plus a lot of people watch us. There's a lot of money. Exact. What could go wrong? Over and over and over again. Schism. What do you mean, schism? Right, chat, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna jump us onto Gartic, right? I want to get... Cookie, this is a secret between you and me, okay? Right. Chat, I want to go into Gartic. Right, chat, look. Here is the link. Join onto Gartic, right? I've got a theme I want to go with, right? There's a theme I want to go today, and I want to see if we can get anybody on here who wants to play Gartic. We only get, it's like I said, it's a short stream. It's just going to be a little funny stream. What I want to do fusion, right? I want to do fusion, and you don't have to be good at it, but basically I'm going to fuse myself. Tyson, I know that you draw, so this will be funny. So what I'm going to do, and JD, welcome in. What I want you to do is I want you to pick 2 people who are well known in either content creation or in a video game that you know. I cannot draw on a laptop with a mouse pad. Is that not the joy of it though? Is that quite literally just not the nurse joy of it all? I also need to unmute this tab. There we go. Right, so watch. Is that time to create a new animation in a collaborative way? Oh, so this is what I want to do. So time. It's going to be... Cinemagicon. Is it progressive? Is that what it is? Let's go slow. Let's just do slow. Only drawings. That's fine. Turns. Yep. Keep drawing. Yep. Scoreboard off. Yep. Animation on. Moderation. Okay, so there we go. So what we're going to do... And Spins, welcome in as well. There we go. GCSEs in 2 days. Ibs, just remember, ain't got time to waste. Listen, Ibs, I want to give you advice, right? I'm a love and luck. Listen, let me give you advice on your GCSEs, okay? I love you, and I want you to make sure that this is the best thing for you. Put all of your effort into it, but these do not dictate your life, okay? I've not once ever been to a job interview, or I've never made my own company, and nobody's ever said to me, what did you get in your GCSEs? Don't forget, they do not dictate who you are. They are just there to guide your next education level. So if you're going to get A levels, I promise you, this is my mother is a teacher, right? Your SATs are to help you to go from primary school up to secondary school to help with your GCSE predicted grades. Your GCSEs are there to help you go from your predicted grades when you do your A levels. They mean nothing to you in the real world, okay? So do your best, but don't lose sleep over it. Still try, but doing poorly on your fam, I got 2 C's and A star. I got an A star, 2 C's, 2 D's, and an E, right? And look at me. I'm happy, I'm collecting, having a good thing, okay? Grades do not define you in the real world. A grade is an elementary schooling system to help you in a system. They do not define your real world life, okay? Go do good on them still. You know, don't up. I have faith in you, but they don't predict who you are, and they do not dictate your course of action in life, okay? I love you, Ib. Now, piss off and go do some work, okay? Look at this. You see this? Look at this. I didn't learn this in school. I taught that on my own. Look, that's a dog. Want to see something else? See that? That was for you, bro. Disappear. Right, chat, let's go. Right, so the aim is rule number. Okay, here's the first one. The first one we're gonna do. We're gonna make a very fluent ball. We want a ball to go from the top and around. Okay, that's all it is. I just want to see how fluent. That is so loud. So what we want to do to start with? I used to love playing Gartic. Have I got it on? Okay, so it's not on fast, so watch. Someone's already finished. Whatever happens to nice guys don't finish last. Woo! 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 Yeah, here we go to the flow, sucking it down from the top to the window. Be careful of Gartic trolls. It's okay. I'm only gonna be alive. Gartic used to be a really big thing with us. I don't allow people and I don't know, and also the link will be taken out of here and it'll go into a different. We're gonna nail it with this one. I know that Shadows has had a couple of Gartic trolls, but they ain't getting close with this one. Not with me anyway. I appreciate the dough cookie. Alright, let's go to... How much time are we looking? Oh, we've not even finished a quarter of the pie yet. I just want to finish... up this bit. First heartbreak. Okay, once we get here, cool. Now we can kind of go nuts a little bit. Yeah, my father said, don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Trials be gone. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. Da, 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 da. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Worry now, yeah. Uh-huh. There's a fill-in function, by the way. Is it? No, where? No. Not on this game mode, there's not. Not this game mode. Oh, wait, no. Wait, what am I doing? I can just do this. Break. Boom. Nice. My father said, don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't forget you can add notes, and those notes don't show up.
Peace International Radio Anthem. Race Ladies Radio Smasher.
Okay, we've got one more, and then you've got it. You've nearly finished. Hurry up, you last person. You're making me feel like I wanted to do the salsa. Hurry up now. You better hurry up now. Okay. Who's the last person? What are you doing? Yeah. Okay, whoever that last person is, whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe. Any day now. Any day now. Any day now. Any day. Bone clap the stone of my heart. More to me. Boom. None. I sniff feet, BRB. Who said they sniff BRB? Now this is just unfortunate because this is just... somebody said they sniff... I think I could say... So not you... Spins! Oh, I sniff feet. And now, see, now, do you know what we need to do? We should add an F. That's completely accurate. That's lore accurate. I sniff feet, bro. That's what... I'm just saying, Spins, that's what you said. No, 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 on. And you know what we should do? Oh, wait, no, 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 no. I know what to do here. Do 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 do. Na 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 na. Actually, go on, bro. Some snapping at me. Yeah. Turn the magic, come on. Could have the magic, come on. Could have come on. Could have the magic, come on. Could have the magic, come on. Could have the magic, come on. I got the magic in me. I need a volunteer. How about you with the eyes? Come on. Do 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 and cheer 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 cheer. I've got the magic in me. That is a very bad version of it. I can't write so much on a phone, then add feet. You want me to add actual feet to this? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Na da 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 da. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh wait, you know what you need to do then? You need to come over and add full screen. Yes. Tell me this isn't a masterpiece. I've got all the shading you need in there. That's it. Nights. Get right, you're superhero stars. Everybody, yeah. Get right, you know, that's superhero. That's the sound. Yeah, yeah. This isn't a masterpiece. Well, you know what is a masterpiece? You sniffing feet, bro. I know you do it. I'm loving the music that I put on today. I'm glad I put it on. Lights. I sniff your feet. Oh my god, look at that. I'm so sorry. Hey, yo, what is that pinned message, Spin? I'm all for it, bro. Nerd! This is not going to be animations! You guys don't know how to draw. You really don't know how to draw, do you? Every hour, every day, every hour. I know, you really can't accept that we're betting. Shut up, bruv. That's what it is. You know what? I just can't accept that you guys are just better than me at drawing. I wish I had your level of artistic skills. Some of the people that play on Shados is Gartic, by the way. I've been watching. Oh, he's got some talented artists. Shados has talented artists. I've got talented autists. Just there we go. And it's time to bed. It's almost 11. Hey, Spin, you head to bed, bro. Thanks for coming by, man. It's nice to be back as well. I know I was gone for a little bit, but I just needed a little bit of a break. I'm happy to see that you're here. I'm glad that you stuck and stayed. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for showing up and showing out. Day, every hour, every now and hour. Lights. Day, right. Superheroes. The sound. Wait for it. I reckon that, and I can get rid of this. Yep, and I can go. Did you hear the news? He's in a dudes. Oh. He's sweet like sugar, dude. Dab and die. Chat, who is he? I really hope that somebody can get this reference. Or am I just too old? Wrong color. His shoulder, Kibidi doesn't get golder. His shoulder. She's so Aussie go the old. There's no way that you guys don't know what this is. God, please, chat. Somebody's got to know what this reference is. Die. She's sweet like sugar, count it round, season, coming of it down, she's of it down, so don't stop. It's plat. Cocky, I love you. There you go. His shoulder, Kibidi don't be the golden, anyone don't be the golden, got the unity shoulder, keep older. It done got it down. Ed, and Eddie. I was a big Ed, and Eddie. I was a big Ed, and Eddie fan growing up. I still am. What would I say? Wait, okay, this is... Okay, I know Tyson made this. Okay, I can't do animation after this because everybody just I just wanted to make one ball, chat. I just wanted one ball. You guys couldn't even make a ball. That's a pineapple. I don't have my drawing pad anymore, so I have to use mouse. It's upsetting. You live side down. It's getting out of town. Yeah, she's a bit of a sound. Okay, now we need doink. Can I grab this on the... And I can go here and just... Look a little smooth. That looks smooth enough. Now I need to draw a French ball, apparently. How do you draw a French ball? Is that how you draw a French ball? Oh. Do 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 do. Wee wee. I love it. I think it's a baguette. It's not a baguette. I forgot the name of the hat. It's yeah, chat. He's wearing a baguette on the head. I don't like it. I love it. Oh, you know it. I don't like it. I don't like. Hey, yo, Fizzy. How you doing? Beret.
Emotional damage.
It's a beret. Thank you. I was trying to Google little French hat. Who are we waiting on? Wait, we're waiting on all of you. Chat. Okay, I need to speed you guys up on this next one. There's no way that this is gonna work out for us. Oh, try to read no. Wait, Trees is back. Oh, I hope Trees back. I don't like it. I love it. Tree is back. What? I love Tree. Let's go. I don't like it. Dommy's waiting to join. Okay. See, no, I just wanted to make like. See, I left directions. Okay, so wait, so my one might actually work. So that's why it was taking forever, is because Spin DC'd. JD! Da-da-da-da-da-da. JD! Touche. Well played, I guess. So JD, I do not understand the game. Oh, that's okay. It was meant to be a running, see? So then I had to just do plank instead. Okay. Here we go. What did JD do? Oh, whoa. Wait, were you just Spider-Man theming it the whole way? Look at that, like it doing like that. See, so okay. Tyson was the French. Tyson's French confirmed. Okay, and then Spin wasn't here for it. That's okay. I sniff TBLB. Nope. See, I sniff feet. I wanted red Ramo and blue sky. Okay. I'm okay with that. What? Guys, you really don't understand the concept of this game. Okay, you guys don't. Okay, we're not doing animation. We're not doing animation right now. Right, so look. This one, what's the next one that we do? Normal version. Icebreaker. Okay, we'll do Icebreaker. Normal timing. Okay. Want to try? Hey, it's better with 4-play. Okay, you know what? Do you want to continue? Okay, look, chat. If somebody else wants to get back in, here is the link. We'll do it one more time. Don't forget, you need to sign in with Twitch to get in. We're not just going to let anybody random in here. If you're not in here and you haven't typed in chat before, you can't get into the game. So make sure that you've joined into the chat before, and you join onto the link. Because if you join in, and I don't know who you are, I'm just not going to let you in because we're not going to allow trolls to join in, okay? It's all cool and dandy. Yo, let's go. I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds before we even start the game.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay,
I don't mind doing 3, 3 is cool anyway. It's icebreaker. So what you do is to start off with JD, this one's for you as well. What you do is you go on and you write something about it. Something, just write a sentence, something about you, something that you like. Like, what's your favorite tree? And then people can draw it and then they guess what it is. So like for me, I'm going to say, what is your favorite Pokemon? Pokemon. It's a standard question, but it's an easy one. You know, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Quack, quack.
Ha! Spider-Man defeated the pineapple at Game of Chess. So the obvious thing we're going to have to do is chess, right? So, okay, let's go back and let's just make this like very small. Right, so. Chair, right? I don't like that song. Followed by a table. Yeah, this is the right height. Okay. Around, followed by a... like this. And we can have... like, the pineapple can be on a couple of things like this, and then followed by... the pineapple, right? Like that. And then we need to make Spider-Man a couple more lines on that one. It's okay, we're going to do better detail in a second. So. Spider-Man. Leg cross. Leg cross. Up. Head. Oh no! Okay, we don't have time actually. You. Arms, torso, legs. Arms down. Torso. Okay, make this a little bit better. Okay, what have we got? No time at all! Oh my god. We're about to run out of time. I didn't... oh no, I didn't realize we had that little time. Oh, I've so not done this in time. Oh, I didn't do it in time. Oh no. What's your favorite dinosaur? I'm a Stegosaurus. It's easy. What's your favorite dinosaur, chat? Okay, good start. Could at least no. I was originally was with that pin comment. Oh, you tell me, bro. You know, that wasn't me that said that. Pinned by me though. Although I was going to, I just wanted to do skeleton first. I didn't realize I had that little time. I goofed. Oh, this is really good so far. To me, to you. What do we think, chat? Na 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 every day. Have I been though? I was doing poorly, but now I'm doing amazing. I took a week off so that I could kind of like take a mental break. and I'm forever grateful that I did, because my brain would have fell out if I carried on. Light down, get down to say. Shouting like a melody in my head. I did it. Can we guess? Yeah, you can definitely guess. That's good. Always guys, focus on yourself. I mean, if I didn't, I'd have just disappeared. I know for a fact I would have. Favorite Pokemon? Chat, what do you think is my favorite Pokemon? What's interesting is it's a Diplodocus. It was a Diplodocus, formerly made famous by Earth, presently made famous by Allier. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Well, you think that my... Come on, you think my favorite Pokemon is Pikachu? Lie down. Shoddy like a melody in my head. Sylveon? It's Jinx, right? No. Oh, I know. You know what? No, I know it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be. iPod stuck in replay. Right, let's go. I hate having a cold. Spins, why have you got a cold? Stop it. No, I messed up on that one a little bit. Ditto? Is it Ditto, chats? Maybe it's just Froakie. My head and you can't keep on. Got me singing like na every day. Stuck in replay, play. Whoa, why are my messages still getting pinged? What do you mean? Why are you getting pinged? Na. Jigglypuff? Could be Jigglypuff. Oh no! We ain't gonna get it done! Fill it with a blue. Wait, if it's Ditto, then it's every Pokemon, to be honest. I mean, oh, whoa. I mean, technically... Okay, I guess you're right. Okay. Let's see, chat. My ping was, what is your favorite Pokemon? To of which Tyson said Leafeon. JD said Tyrant, which that is obvious. I could say that. Think smart, not hard. Flutterman. Nope, if it's not Fluttermane, nope. That is very obviously Leafeon, but you didn't finish its feet. I know what I'm saying. I think what you mean is it's a Ditto. Mine is Mimikyu and Drifloon. You know what, Cookie? That is a very you thing. I can see that. I didn't finish its head. No, you didn't finish its legs. In chat, technically, it's a Ditto. See? And mine was also just a Fluttermane. Has no legs. Well, I just don't know what you mean. One of my favorite Pokemon is Arvignal. I could never want. Whoa, what's your favorite dinosaur? JD said Barney. It's a Diplodocus. It is, but not vice versa. It's fine. Whoa. It's the Raptor card from Magic the Gathering. That's what it is. I'm not going to lie, chat. I think mine was... Whoa, I can watch you draw it? Did not know that. Why does it look like Rayman's friend? Watch. Rayman blue friend. What's his name? Glowbox. Why he look like this though? Is it a or is it different? Is yours a dipper? It's a Diplodocus. Diplodopolus. It's from yeah, it's a Diplodopolus, right? I'm not mistaken. Cool raptor though. Use of raptor. Spider-Man defeated a pineapple at a game of chess. Okay, fair enough. Mine, I was going to start detailing it, but then I forgot that we had a timer. Not far. Ha! I win. I'll have to give it you. Okay, I'll have to give it to you though. Nothing. I'm doing nothing, bro. Okay, chat. If anybody wants to get in, here is the invite link. One more time before we let that sink in. Okay. Spider-Man's face is annoying to draw. Nuh-uh. Circle, squiggly line. Done, I guess. Right, we'll do one more. Okay. We got Zix. Boom. Welcome, Sin. Right, Zix, just make sure that you are telling us what you are inside Twitch chat, okay? I need to know what you are in Twitch chat before that we let you in. An hour of work, otherwise I join. Oh, Vignala, no! Quit work. I need Zix, you need to talk into the Twitch chat or I'm going to kick you. Indeed, I need to see if you're a follower, because I need to... Zix, you know you have sign in with Twitch anyway, right? Yeah, I know. No, it's a peace of mind thing. So it always matters. No, I need you to type in chat. That's the thing. It's okay, but thank you for showing. Right, chat, we're going to do one more icebreaker. Chat. So... just to clarify, okay? JD, this is a question-based round. Not a make this drawing tense. This one is a if only but adult unburned. Bro, are you saying that... no, you're being an adult, you're not adulting. So, JD, just to clarify, and just to round off. Great timing. After my message, pish posh. Oh, JD's not going to hear this either. Write down this. Look, normal settings, standard as always. Let's go. Very basic. Write a sentence, make it. What should we have it? I ain't got a bandwidth on mobile to watch live. Jane! Zine, give me a question. Give me a question, real. What's a random question? Oh no. Oh no. We don't have a question. Don't have a question. At least I can see Jason Momoa breaking out in song. That, yeah. How old is Sin? That's not a question. No, that's not something you can draw though. Favorite superhero. Good. There we go. I heard my name, but that's it. That's fine. Your favorite game character. Favorite game character ever. Don't wanna know. Oh, you're taking me home. I can't say Minecraft, can I? We are lucky, love, you know. Taking me home, home. Let's see. Oh, Ava, you sexy mofo. I forgot about the whole, like, drawing Among Us thing. We used to do this all the time. Okay, so that should all be good. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No. Okay, so cool. So we need to fill, right? Fill Mahar. All the way down to 1. Right, so that's what we need to do, because now we need to go here. No. We need to go back to fill and go boom, boom, boom. Yes, cool. So now we've got that done. Now we need to go here, go onto there, because now we need to go White. Boom, 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 boom. Turn you up to boom, 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 boom. Cool. You boom. Nice. You. Boom. Boom. And dum. Dum dum. Dum dum. 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 Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. Oh, I messed up so badly. Among Us everywhere. We used to just do everything was Among Us. Everything. Everything was Among Us. Absolutely everything. I'm gonna lurk because I'm gonna go join Among Us. Oh, he's doing Among Us. I'll be here listening in. Okie dokie. Bye, Cookie. Thanks for joining in. Right, it's Wild Thing from Wild. Oh, I love. Listen, I do. We just love Among Us. Show me your best pickup line. It not me. What's your best pickup line? Okay, I know what it's gonna be. And it's gonna be a little cave. And then we need to go to all the way down here. And we go boom. Ja, 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 ja. Ra-da-da-da-da. Right, and then we go down to here. And then we go back onto the grey. Nope. We can go boom, 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 boom. Nope, wrong one. That's two. Boom. Dum, boom, boom. And then we can go with a dark grey for the outside. Most cringe I've ever had said to me is, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" So do you want me to walk back in? The second you said, "Do you?" You said, "Do you believe in love?" I was like, I know where this to go. I could answer it myself straight away. Yep. The second that you were like, I've had some pretty cringy. I've had some pretty cringy pickup lines before. Alright. My text might have been easy. I know, but I was rushing it towards the end. I know. Something is hanging in the sky. Well, it's not 1930. Never mind. Right, something is hanging in the sky. What is hanging in the sky? So we're going to start off with a very nice... some clouds, right? Just like so. And then we're going to go to... now we're going to do this. Right? And then, I don't know what the friggin' all this bit is. It really was. I was like, to be fair, that'd have been my reaction as well. Don't worry about it. Right, so you need to go darker blue, darker. Yeah, midnight blue, if you know what I mean. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, because now we need to go to grey. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All the way down. And we need to go whiter. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And then, what's hanging in the sky? A baby. That's it. It's got to be a baby, right? It's a baby. Because now you need to be like... Baby. It's not the baby. He's screaming, not the mama at least. No, he's not. It's just a baby in the sky and the pilot's driving past on a spy jet by the looks of things going. Is not radio tower? I think we found a baby. You've got a what? I think we found a baby. I think that's how they're reacting. I think that's how they are reacting to it all in live time as well. Ba 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 ba. Bum 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 bum. Favorite superhero? I didn't even think about this one. Like, it's Steve. I was looking forward to that song and I missed it. How much time we got? Still, we've got most of the time. Yeah. How do I do this one? Okay. This is gonna be so scuffed. Yeah, Bam. My name Berman. It's Berman. My name is Berman. My name is Berman. Don't just go near me. I'm gonna shoot you with my spider webs. What? You with me? I'm gonna. Ayaluna, thank you so much for the follow. Can we play Masterpiece? I'm all for playing a good old Masterpiece at times. Wait. What was I just doing? Wait, let me acknowledge it properly. Wait. 1, 2. I'm trying to make a scuffed Batman. That's chat. Don't tell me that this isn't the greatest Batman that you've ever seen. Oh, that started from the beginning then. He is my fight for justice. Hey yo, Luna, welcome in. By the way, my name is Intrasty, but you can call me whatever you like. Welcome into the internet. But yes, I'm always for a good Masterpiece. I think today's one might be the end. This is the last one to do for Gartic, but we're going to be playing Gartic more often. Okay, so, but first of all, if you're on Discord, join Discord. We play Gartic. We used to play Gartic a lot before I took a break. You thought it was Spider-Man. No, it was me. So we all drew I think everybody drew Batman. Is that Batman the Fox? My name is Batman. I love it, dude. Although, I'm just saying, JD, I thought it was Spider-Man, bro. You've let me down. You let me so far down. I thought everyone was... When I said, who's your favorite superhero, I had in mind that people were going to do Batman. Something hanging from the sky. The sky is falling. It's literally the sky is falling. I'm okay with that. You drew a cloud hanging from the sky. Well done. That's Deadpool. Yeah, that was the joke. What is hanging from the sky? Tyson, I think you misunderstood. What's hanging in there? That's just terrifying. Is that a space eel? Did you make a space eel? Show me your best piggle. I knew that was you, JD. Is that who I think it is? Fair. What's your nah. This, like I picked up. No, you picked up. I'm straight up saying this is Momo, by the way. I like where you were going with the beginning. You went to go like full skull, right? Like right here, I can see you were about to make a full face, and you went, you know what? No, Momo is the way that we want to go, and that's terrifying, and I'm all for it. So in that one, Zix, you win that one. That's freaky. I don't like it, but I like it. Favorite game character? What is your favorite game character, chat? Mine, I would have to say, is Kratos. I do, but there was no chance with my mouse and not my draw pad. There was no way you were getting that. Oh my god, it's the guy from Don't Starve. Luigi or Fireman Sam. Zix. Okay, what's this? That's a good Master Chef. Hollow Knight. Don't Stop. Yeah, that's Don't Starve. I don't know what you guys are on about. That's just very clearly Don't Starve. Okay, look at this. Linamar draws sitting inside the game. Cannot wait to see if it's insane. You've got draws in your name. Should I be scared? Luna, what draw pad do you use before I continue in any way? So Masterpiece is going to be long, right, chat? So let me see. Always. I'm always okay. Okay. Knock off. Ah! Who knocked off? Oh, it was Tyson. I'm all for a knockoff, but let me see what we do for mass. Let me see. Create a piece of art, play in a single turn with no time limit. Okay. I have to go. Have a good night. Tyson, have a great night, dude. Thanks for joining in. I'm okay. Right, chat. I'm going to head out, have some fun with you. Hey, yo, JD, disappear now. You know what? I'm going to kick you out the lobby. I want to see what the... So, Zix and Luna. I'm all for... And we got Lele. Hello, Lele. Right, theme. Right, here's what we're going to say. It's Masterpiece. I want wizardry. Something fantasy themed, okay? No. No. I want Sonic the Hedgehog meets... Sonic the Hedgehog meets Harry Potter. Harry the Hedgehog. The theme is Harry the Hedgehog, okay? That's your theme. Kratos, if you can make him work in this, fair, but this is Sonic Potter, Harry the Hedgehog 2, Prisoner of the Golden Rings. Right. Let's think. Wait, I just got here. Lele, welcome. Get your ass into gear. We've got shit to do. I'm going to watch this one. Okay, right. So, we're thinking... Oh, I think Sonic is a menace, right? I think he's a Gryffindor, right? Sonic's a Gryffindor. Knuckles. This one. Okay, I've put myself too far into this. I'm still kind of lost. Sorry. Yes, there's a theme. Don't worry. It's Sonic meets Harry Potter. Wizard World meets Sonic. Sonic the Wizard. Okay. Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we're going in deep with this one. I like this. I'm trying to see what's a good reference that we can use. You can use reference images if you want to use reference images. I like this. I like the idea of this is going to be freaking hard. Okay. Shit, why did I agree to do this? How much time? It's okay. It's Masterpiece. You have as much time as you need. I'm going to say let's make a cap of like 10 minutes. But you have roughly about 10 minutes, okay? So do what you need to do until then. Right, let's go down and let's start with... So, talking... Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm also using my mouse because I don't have a... I don't have my draw pad. So I'm gonna have to make do with hands. That's not even gonna be able to work. That's too... Has to come like... down. We're trying to think of like... his little perch. Where is he gonna be? Like, what's he gonna be on? right? Let me turn the music up for you guys just a little bit. That's not even even. That's the annoying thing. Da-ba-da. I used to use. Hold on, I'll get it up. It was the it was an XP pen artist drawing tablet I used to use. And I got given it as a gift, by an old friend. But when I moved city, I left it with my parents, and then my brother broke it. So I'm kind of still salty about it, but at the same time, what are you gonna do, eh, brothers? Do I miss it though? Oh my god, yes. Because this is the first time I'm drawing as well with my mouse. This is the first Gartic stream I've done since I come back. Yeah, bro, to replace it. Bro ain't got the motive or the money to try replacing it. It was a freaking £600 one, and he doesn't like the idea of I broke it, I fix it idea. But I took a little break from streaming while I was moving city. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start this one again. Let's start with his face. Da 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 night. Yeah, I took a break from Twitch while I was moving city. I moved from Liverpool, which is the north of the UK, if you don't know. I moved directly to the south. I moved into central London. And I've been here now for 2 years. But I had to get everything, like, switched over, like, to get my PC setup brought down, all of the lighting and stuff. It just became a massive headache. And then I also started running my own company. So that was also a pain. However, now we've got a little bit of leeway. So I thought I'll get back into streaming. While I could, at least. Okay, that's an okay sized iPhone. We need to go in with... That's a little bit too big though. I'm on the outskirts of Mank. I'm sorry. But it's okay. No, that's okay. That's fair. Towards the north side or the outside though? North side or south side? You're gonna say east side or something. But yeah, which side of the outskirts? You don't have to say it. Just be like northeast, southwest, if you prefer. Why does it look like... Oh, it looks like Cthulhu. Nope. I don't know. Northwest. Oh, wait. So you're in between Manchester and Liverpool then? Sure. Cool. I guess. I think my girlfriend lives there. Hello, my skibbity toilet. Hey, yo. How you doing, Arlo? Welcome, Stin. Hope you're having a good day today. Welcome, in skibbity toilet. We're doing, if Sonic was a wizard. Masterpiece. Hope you're having a good day. Amazing. Lovely. Look at that. We all love that, right? Great cat ears. We don't even have to try. Whoa, oh. That is not the way I wanted to go. Oh, no. Okay. It's always a good time. Dum 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 dum. Oh, that's what was going to be the annoying part. Because here's where we're going to have to do it. Can I join? Faux show. We're doing Masterpiece, so this one's going to be maybe a 10-minute round, though. We need to do a nose. Because now... like, Wizard's Hat up to here? Do we think? Looks more... No. So, okay. So, just to clarify, Sonic meaning not Sonic the Hedgehog himself. Sonic meaning Sonic, the genre. Can I have the link? Shall I tell you? Oh. Try get it, like, rounded up a little bit. Yes, see. Oh, why did I do that? Nope, too much of a curve up. I guess. We're gonna be going over it anyway with a proper tooth. Wait, I'm doing a literally meeting each other. No, you can do it. Listen, as long as it's fusion, okay? Cheese is just, it is. Hello, it is. Just convince me wrong. Listen, somebody said to me, somebody told me, somebody had mentioned to me, was like, suggesting that cheese is just a loaf of bread suggests the existence of liquid bread. Is that not just a pint of beer? And that's what I'm saying. It is. They answered my question the way I wanted them to. Thank you. Sha. Hey, yeah. Also, you can make up your own, like, your own Sonic creature, I guess. It's just, as long as it's from their universe and it makes a canon-esque sense. Uh-oh. Shut, ladies. Don't they have weird hands that's like connected like this? Aren't they just like weird bodies that's just like that? Like Winnie the Pooh-esque kind of arms? Yeah, that's just my name, you know. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh. Well, that was me. Give it a song on. It's called Skibidi. You want me to put Skibidi Toilet on in this playlist? Say less. Skibidi Toilet. Ice cold. It's on next. All right. You say it's fire. I know what the song is. I'm unfortunately aware of its existence. Okay. Cool. Right, so let's just remove this. Okay, I feel like at least here I can add a little bit more context to his face. Thank you for the follow. Why have I got double notification? Stop that. Disappear. Dissipate. off. Yeah, thanks, thanks for the follow, Arlo. Welcome to this internet officially. Hi, shake it, shake it. Woo! And Layla as well. Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to this internet to the both of you. Skibbity Toilet coming up next, chat. Uh-oh. All the way down. Behind the ear, lovely. Lovely. Chat, get ready. Next one up, Skibbity Toilet. I don't know why I've agreed to put this song on, but you know what? Here we are, chat. Next song up is Skibbity Toilet. Wait, is this not the Skibbity Toilet? Is it this one? Please don't say, is it this one? And just as that, you get hit with an ad break as well. That's comical. Oh, wait. Skibbity Toilet will be mine. Ohio Town, yeah. Oh. Oh, my God. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. What I missed, Skibbity Toilet. Not the ads. This is... I hate this so much. It's already been 15 minutes. I know, right? The ads are done now. No! What on God's green one is this? Arlo, you're banned from song suggestions, by the way. Big announcement on stream today. Oh wait, Zine, did you miss the stream team? What is this song, bro? You guys need help, okay? Been out of the house for like 5 hours. Okay, long story short, I'm making a content creator crew. Similarly to the Sidemen, similarly to like the Vanos crew and everything. All of that stuff. Put on Blu-ray. Fago! Okay, give it like 2 more songs. I'll put on Fago. Yeah, so I'm making a content team, which is going to be similarly to like the Vanos crew and everything, and just merging them in. I can properly delve into it properly better off stream because I've made a clip of it. So I'm going to turn it into a video in itself. I'm going to edit it down. Whoa, why is my mouse being so DPI? And done, bow. Yeah, I'm making a team of content creators. One second, Zane. I copied you on later and just enjoy the vibes as always. I enjoyed the vibes. I'm glad that I'm back as well. As much as I needed to take that week off, I'm glad I took the week. You know. I think it should be the one that picks the music. I'm the best at it. Really? Arlo? I mean, nice to have you here. However, Skibbity Toilet was your suggestion, and I'm never gonna financially recover from it. I'm just saying. I don't write the rules. Well, I mean, I do, but oh no, that was wrong. I don't write the rules. And I do write the rules. Stream vibes are the best way to wind down. I love stream. I do. I love everyone here. Even the new peeps. Even you weird new people that came in today. You weirdos. Baby. I mean, I can't really talk. You don't make the rules. You're just thinking I'm gonna write them down. Exactly. You guys hurt my brain. I am normal. Okay. Anyone that recommends Skibbity Toilet Ohio is here. You can't say you're normal. Hey, go Sergeant Matt, how you doing today, brother? Welcome, Shane, David. How you doing? Welcome in, bro. I miss you, man. It's nice to see you. Hope you had a good day today. Right here, yes, I need little love, little sympathy. Somebody's already finished, by the way. Chat, which one of you finished already? Sugar. I should have done a bass first. I pick him up. You let me hanging, can get me some. I should have actually just base coated it and then went over it. That's what I get for being out of the game for like a year. There where you are, and little things. I did. Oh, Zick, my god, did. Fago, as in Fago root beer. Oh wait, I did suggest blueberry Fago. See, okay, now watch. Yes. As in this. So in 20 minutes and almost 2. Ha! Okay, fuck. There you go. You now have... Wait, does it cancel it if I do that? There you go. I've set a timer. Lego. Oh, I know this song, Arlo. Okay, wait. Da, 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 da. Oh no, Lily! No, I'm so sorry. Hi, Lego. Look at this. Look at me. Look at you. Artemis. Kinda cool. Hi, Arcee. How you doing? Here we go. Looking kinda cool. I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog, part of the crew with a cool little hat. I'm a wizard bean. I'm trying to be cool. Gryffindor's my team. You should pick the next song. Lily, you should pick the next song. Okay, I did. Okay, I'm not the best. We're hanging out with a stream group recently and having fun, drinking and playing video. That's kind of cool, Mac. That's kind of poggers, dude. Zix, okay, let's see. Gotta go first. Okay, maybe. Okay, you might have beat me. You might have beat me. Let's see what Luna done. Wait, what did you say? Kratos like Sonic X Harry Potter. Yeah, this is gonna suck Lamau. Okay, it's still kind of good. Look, it's Kratos. We love Kratos in this building. Look at me. Look at you. Look what Kratos tried to do. Wingardium Leviosa, bitch. Wingardium Leviosa, bitch. Look at this. Look at that. I think got a winner, chat. Sound like a vibe. Look at this, bro. Lily. Look at this. Look at that. Think we got a winner, chat. This one's my favorite so far. Yeah. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why can no one hang with Lily though? No one. No. What? What? Oh. Right, chat. Let's see. Next round, we'll do another masterpiece, except it will be a 20-minute cap. Okay. So look, we'll put it on time. It's gonna be fine. I can't set it right. We'll just have a 20-minute time on masterpiece. Easy to see. The song is the Skibbity. Skibbity. It's a Skibbity. You gonna chat, right? Theme for the next masterpiece. Fusion. Give me a fusion theme, right? Also, Lily, insane. I loved it. I love you. Insanity. Chat, give theme. Fusion X theme ideas. What are you thinking? I'm thinking we can go down a SpongeBob route. What is something up that we can do? Can I draw whatever? You can draw Kratos X SpongeBob. That's what I want from you, Luna. I want it to be God of War, God of Bikini Bottom. That's it. Chat, don't forget, if you are already not in the Discord server, join Discord. It's super simple. It's super cool. And I don't need to educate you on what Discord is. I would order the best thing ever. You know what? You guys can have the best thing ever. Funny thing is, when I don't drink, we don't win for weeks. As soon as we drink, Fortnite wins. Let's go. Okay, right. I want to see something that is SpongeBob fused, okay? So your masterpiece must contain an element of SpongeBob. That's it. That's all it is. Those be the secret of the trade. Right. Let's go. 20-minute cap. Okay. I'll even start a timer. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Insanity. Insane in the membrane. Countdown for 20 minutes. We now have a 20-minute countdown. What's the theme? I was AFK. Your theme for this one, you must include SpongeBob to some element. Not SpongeBob SquarePants himself, but SpongeBob as like the entirety. You know, Bikini Bottom, Mr. Krabs, Pearl, for example. It must include an element from the TV show, the hit TV show from Disney Channel. I know that's wrong. Disney Channel, SpongeBob SquarePants. That is your theme. It's got to include it. Right. What should we do from... Oh, I'm thinking... SpongeBob more... Okay, I'm thinking... Okay. Wait. Oh, I've got an idea. What if we do... Okay. I've got... Well, now you need painting in here. Now we need paint... No, can we export them? Can I export all of these and we have them as actual paintings on the HeroCraft server? I'm just saying. Oh, now I have an idea. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe if I just Google it, it's... Okay, it's already... Yep. Lie down, they say. Lie down. The HeroCraft server still going? No, there's a new one, Mac. There is a new one, and it's Minecraft roleplay. Insanity. It's great. Henrik is still there as well. Henrik Lefroy. Okay, cool. This is going to be really hard. So we're going to start off with... That's going to be way too big. It needs to be smaller. That's what she said. See it? Yeah. I just passed 400 hours of writing code for the new HeroCraft. That's amazing. Because I love that. I'm taking a break from Minecraft, but recently re-downloaded. Everyone does all the time. You'll always go back to it. That's the thing. Lad down, they say. So, SpongeBob, right? What do we love about SpongeBob SquarePants? he is super happy, super chilled. And he has 2 buck teeth. He likes Skibidi Toilet. Now, who else likes Skibidi Toilet? Is it Rick Sanchez? I think it's Rick Sanchez, chat. That's a bad eye placement. No, it needs to be rounder. It needs to be rounder around this sector. That's too round. That's not round enough. Nope. It's also too round. Once and done. That's what I needed. I needed that one. I need to be just a little bit rounder here. That's fine. Okay. SpongeBob chat. Do you mew? I don't. I should though, because I need to. No, I do not mew. It's such a brain. Oh, Arlo, you're so brain rot. I love you. Stay. There's so much brain rot already. That is not how SpongeBob cheeks should be. Okay. How long have we got? Chat, 15-minute warning. You've got 15 minutes left. Take note. Okay. That looks like it's a freaking food. That one's not wiggly enough. That's so squiggly, toilet. There we go. That's fine. Because here's where it's gonna be like. Because now we can get anime. I'm cooking right now. Oh no, what do you mean you're cook? Oh, you're cooking up? Say less. You guys don't know what it is yet, do you? I think. Wait, didn't I already leak what it is? I will win. I'd like to see you try. Nope, not that line. SpongeBob needs legs, my guy. He will have legs. The Danjo. Okay. That's as much as I can do on this. Because just like this. All the way down. No, not this one. We need to go like a here. No, it needs to be further out, which means I might need to move his tie because it needs to be like here. Okay, now there's a reason. Right. Does it go up? No, it'll go side like this way. What about this? We don't even have to try. Nope, that's a two. That's one extra line. Yep, there we go. That's oh, that's great for this one. So, Salva, are you guys going to be playing Masterpiece one more time after this one? We might do one more after this. We've done one before, one now. The previous one was SpongeBob. No, sorry, Sonic X Harry Potter. This one has to be any element combined with a theme of SpongeBob. We might do one more after this one, Suck, but I'm probably going to be doing Gartic a little bit more now. So if you do want to do one and we don't end up doing one because of time restraints, who knows? But if we do another one, you can play it. If not, we'll be doing it tomorrow as well. And Angela, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to this internet. My name is Introsity HD, but you can call me whatever you like as long as you don't call me daddy because I'll get in trouble by the police. I suck. Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome, Sin. I kind of want to animate. Is it all right? Yeah, no, listen, that's fine. I mean, I haven't shown like what theme I'm going for. Can I call you my Skibbity? You can call me your Skibbity. Daddy. Papa. Yeah, my missus will kill me. But yes, you can call me your little Skibbity. That's okay. This is kind of SpongeBob anime related, I guess. You'll see when it's finished. It's just I'm not the best drawer. The others in here, however, I'm gonna get shown the frick up. Skibbity Sigma, that's me. Needs to be no, it needs to be further up that way. Yep, and it goes all the way up. Whoa. I wonder if anyone can guess what it actually is, by the way. Is this the last game? No, we don't think it's the last game yet. It depends on time restraint of the final of this round. Probably not going to be the end of this. It's not going to be the last one. If it is the end, if we do actually end up doing this towards the end, then we'll be doing it again tomorrow anyway. Alright. And don't forget, chat, one more time, join into Discord if you're not already inside of the Discord. Skibbity Sigma. How'd you guess it's... Oh, okay, wait. How'd you guess that? How'd you guess? Angela, it probably won't be the last one, though. Don't worry, though. Da da ba dee da ba da. I'm good, bro. You are good. I don't even think it looks anything like them yet. Okay, I'm gonna kind of give it like a rough vibe now. Rick Sanchez is a mad guess, bro. Like out of this, there's nothing like his torso is so out of like it'd have to be. Oh wait, actually wait, I've got. It's a very good point. It's so out of proportion with itself. Why did I even do that? Sugar, left side, sugar. Okay, let's just say the side view with the half lap coat. Fine. I'm actually just gonna. The tiny neck got me though. The tiny neck is because it's you'll see in a second. Hold on. If I do that, That's probably what's going to give it away. That, and you said it at the start. Yeah, but I didn't think anyone paid attention to that. It's like an up and arch because his eyes do that, right? Is it Calamado or it's Rick Sanchez? That's the annoying. It's like you got it dead on. Like I'm not gonna even attempt to do his hands. You know what? There you go. You guys can get that. I was never gonna be able to nail his hands. I'd nail his hands. It's okay, chat. It's okay. Oh Lord, that's too big. That's what she said. Time. Why does his eyelids look like mini ice cube? I am done. Is that you that was done? Bro, using a mouse. I'm using my mouse. That's why it's like, that's why it's so rough. My, what the Sigma? Hey, yo, what the skibidi? You kind of cook. Suck what the bro? Whoa. What is with the DPI? Bro, no, don't do that. I might extend this. Nah, I'm not going to do that. That's just going to be pain. And then what? Do we just... Do we just do that with his hair? Kind of like give it a little bit. Yep. And then we can go 1, 2, doink, 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 doink. Give it one more flick out here. How's some of my drawings with Mazart to Shepik? Lovely. Okay, cool. I want for sure. Arlo. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Oh, there's no way. Like, there's no way unless I can like fix him here. Like his proportion is so far out. Let's see if I can like. Is there any way I can kind of fix this without it being it's this arm completely, by the way. It is just that arm that is just so whack. Time check, chat. You guys have got 3 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Go back down here. Right, so we fixed his jacket going all the way down. His lab coat should extend all the way. So like here. Kind of hoping I can get away with putting his arm into a pocket. Like that. Bring his pants round to here. And we can kind of like, Mama said, don't give your energy. Okay, now we really need to get going with the color, like a greeny, musky. Yep, I need everything. Depend me. Mama said, don't give up. Little complicated. It's gonna be Skibidi. Oh, I already know. Arlo, yours is gonna be Skibidi Toilet, guaranteed. Skibidi Toilet, SpongeBob. Oh, it's gonna be Skibidi Toilet, SpongeBob. Do you have time? Literally 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh my god! I haven't done SpongeBob. I haven't colored SpongeBob in. Oh my god! No. That's the wrong color. Up on your eyes, up on your eyes. Let me know. Whoa. Look on your eyes. Don't give up. It's a little complicated. I all for a living. $55 seconds left. Oops. 25 seconds left. Give dots for SpongeBob. Oops. Ah! And then, wait, what color is it? Oh my god, his eyes are blue. His eyes are blue. What else? Is that it? I think that's it. I think that's quite literally. I think that's it. And that is time. Oh my god, that's time. Oh my god. Okay, now you have 20 seconds. Okay, so there's 20 seconds added on from now. There you go. Now you guys got your 20 seconds. I see Rickwood. You see Rickwood. I'm Biddlerig. I'm happy. I'm happy. Thank you, Miss Skibidi. Thank you, Miss Skibidi. Can you check some of my drawings? I'm curious. I don't draw for like 2 or 3 years. Hey, that's completely okay. Don't worry about it. Yep. Oh, I am looking forward. I am looking forward to this one. Hi. Skibidi toilet. Right. So my element was Rick Bob and... Well, no. Wait, so it's Squid... Squick and Mort Bob. Squick and Mort Bob. Can I get the link? Squickwood. Yes, chat. We have got Squickwood. Let me see. Whoa. Why is Darth Vader taking over Bikini Bottom? Why is he so... Hey, yo, boss, how you doing? I'm bonking you right now with a hammer. Stop hitting me with the hammer. Look, you can do it to me here. Right in the noggin. Go on, do it. Won't do it. Yeah, I can see that. How you doing, boss? Welcome in, dude. You should put on SpongeBob songs. 100%. Yes. Okay. Bear with me while I do that then. Skibidi toilet. Add to my library. There we go. And I can go SpongeBob. Oh, that actually wasn't bad. Sea Wars was kind of cool though. But why was he doing it though? He don't need it now. Oh, he don't need it. Oh, that's kind of cool though. Luna, it's Kratos Patrick. Just had a lobster sandwich and damn was it good. You're eating Larry the lobster from SpongeBob SquarePants? I'm saving this one. Sorry, I like it. I can beat him. Oh, look, I'm curious. Lily, let me see what you've got. Show me what you... I love it. I kind of love it. I kind of absolutely love it. Hi, how are you? I'm a goofy goober. That is cute. I could have that as my wallpaper on my PC. Right, let's see what Arlo's here is. Bro, I told you. I told you it was Skibbity Toilet. I cooked. You cooked in the pizzeria. A goofy goober, yeah. You're a goofy goober, yeah. We're all goofy goobers, yeah. Goofy, goofy, goofy goober, yeah. I'm saving it. You don't get a say in that one. You're a goofy goober, yeah. We're all goofy goober, yeah. Goofy, goofy, goofy goober, yeah. Look, yours was sick. Right, we could do one more. Let's do another masterpiece, chat. Give me a theme. What can we do? I'm thinking something including Scooby-Doo. What are we thinking? Yes or no? Is it something that we do, or do we throw it in the bin? Alright. Link plus. It's a Goofy Goober theme song. Anime, please. Throw it in the bin. Fine. Nothing to do with Scooby-Doo. Right, okay, chat. Okay, cool. Goofy, 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 goober. Yeah. I'm gonna go listen to music while I do. 1600 DPS pain. Suck. That must suck for you. But I feel the pain. That is nuts, by the way. Right, chat. Theme. What are we thinking? Anime. Anime. Okay. Anime's your favorite show. Okay. Can you check Discord? I will. I'm going to switch to this scene just so I can look at it because my Discord covers my screen. I don't want to dox any of my messages either. Let me see. Ja. Whoa! Cheese is moldy milk indeed. It's a loaf, okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, anime. Also, by the way, sick. Oh, bro, the death. Okay. I see what you were doing, Suck. Try not to like dox my DMs. It's good job my camera's up here. That's sick. Haha, I win. This is the sick. This is one I'm like, yeah, let's go, bro. Right, let's go. Let's rock and roll. Chat. Anime is the theme. I want to see your favorite anime version of your favorite show. Okay. You and me, and it's for anywhere, anytime at all. Okay. Anime. What's it all? What's the theme? The theme has to include an anime style of whatever you include. So if you want to, for instance, if you're going to do SpongeBob SquarePants again, you do an anime version, like a like we're going anime. You know, proper. I've seen this character in a manga, but it's actually like Patrick Star or something. That's what we do. All right, chat. Let's go. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Right, we've got that. How many time do we have? 20 minutes on the clock, which means you've got 20 minutes and 20 seconds because we have a 20-second cooldown. So there we go. I'm doing this on my school computer. Although, what the frick, dude? Stop doing it on your school computer. Right. I'm saying, Oh, wait. What about... What if I... That'd be funny. Oh, no. I know what I'm doing. That was the voice that just gave it away. Sure. That's what I'm looking for. This is it. I'm sorry, my Skibidi. Don't worry about it, my Skibidi Lees. You're more than welcome to be doing it now, Mr. Krabs. Oh, this is gonna be amazing, and you're all gonna get it straight away. It's so annoying. It's too big. That's what she said. Yep. Chat, what am I doing? Nope, wrong. Yeah. Oh, shut up, Angela. Of course. Yeah, we're going anime Shrek. That's not tall enough. I should not have done that to start with. I should have started off with like his Dwayne Johnson bald head or something.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hey, Arlo. That's too round. It needs to be like Dwayne Johnson, like that, you know. Cookie, of course, we're going with the version of Shrek. I want to stay up and see this, but I have to be asleep an hour and 30 minutes ago. I'm up for work at 3 a.m. Good night, chat. Well, listen. Fizzy, all you need to do is check out the socials. Go check out Sintrusty Plays or Sintrusty VODs. It'll be on there after the stream. And so will TikToks to be doing with all of the masterpieces. Chat, don't forget, if you want to have your masterpieces on TikToks and shit, they're going to be on TikTok. We're going to be putting them all up. I'll be editing them all up and putting them onto TikTok and stuff. Sha. I didn't understand the theme. What do you mean you did not understand the theme? What did you do? What are you doing wrong? I think we should start off with sunglasses. Like Shrek wears sunglasses, right? That's fine. You know? No, he don't. Hey, Sunlake, by the way, I haven't said hi. He does have sunglasses. Don't you tell him that. He'll get self-conscious. Like this. Like having light. Just like this. Sing. Imagine the word sing going. We can add a bridge. Yeah. We can add like a smoldering Shrek chat. Like, I'm for it. I'm feeling him. I'm feeling Shrek. No, his nose is too. What are we thinking? Like, oh, this is hurt my hand trying to do this. Do 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 do. I really hope this comes out well. I think that's one. It needs to end here. Yeah, so it's this line needs to come like here. Right? Like Milan, give it all right, give it. Living under it. I am done all at what? Feeling, love never felt so good. I don't believe you because I think yours is just gonna be skibbity something. Oh, so good. There's no me. Ooh. Can I have VIP for free? If you are voted that you have the best one here, I'll give you a free VIP. If yours wins. Deal? How's that? I won the last one. If you win this one, I'll give it you. Maybe if you don't get it, but I like it, I'll give you it. I feel like you're gonna get it anyway after the end of this. Wait, how long? I wasted 9 minutes on his face. Love never felt so good. Boom, boom. Here we go. Draw the nose. Mm-hmm. Oh! I don't have a mouse, so I can't do is it anime. I'm doing it anime. Feeling. It tells me. Okay. Tell me. Who else is finished? Wait, how long's left? We still got 9 minutes 45. Okay. Whew. Okay. Cool. We still got time. Is it like, Something can't go. Hi, Livy. How you doing, darling? I feel like it needs to be like, you know? Like this, maybe? Amazing, how are you? I'm amazing because I get to sleep whenever I want. You don't, nerd. Wait, why are you amazing? You're in school today. Oh. Never did it. I actually have done a full day in school. What? Maybe I'm proud of you. I went to all your lessons. I don't believe it. What? Is this my birthday, is it? A 4. Although I'd say it's definitely a 4. Nah, it has to be a 4. It's like, it's a 4 because it's convenient. I've not had the Americans. Is it good though? Oh, oh, roll. Tears, what the flip? Oh, bleh. No, go away. You have a dub dog if it's named Arlo. Hey, Arlo. When can you do art? I don't really tell people I can draw. I love you so I love to say. Baby, go away. I don't know, I don't know. Needs to be like here. Needs to be a lot smoother than that though. This is what I say. Nope, not smooth enough. Like the like that. If it looks like that's the route it has to take. Right? Too curved. 5 minutes, chat. It's not. It's like 3.5. Oh no. Oh no. 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 Okay. Cool. Cool. That's so many errors so fast because I'm panicking because there's 5 minutes left. That is a much better physique. Whew, oh my god. Lower it down. Libby, why are you so good today? He's a beta. This is Sigma Shrek. This has to be Sigma Shrek. Wait, oh no, wait, I'm missing one thing. There you go, he's got a fluffy chest. I need it all my life. You're supposed to hear crap, by the way. I saw one on Discord and it's your DMs. Love, 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 love. It's time. No, we still got 50 seconds. Shh. This is the upsetting thing, is like doing everything and not coloring them. He looks like Pepe Le Frog if I do this. I might just undo him. I need time. Okay, I'll give a 2-minute extension, okay? Yeah, that's the truth. It's a shut up, Harlow. I'm in love. I'm in love. Right, you've got a 2-minute extension, okay? I was done like 5 minutes. Oh, pish posh, Harlow. It's only like the thing that's like gonna mess me up is all of the shading to do with like his ears and stuff. Like I have to do rough colors on his face. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Bro, it's time. Get any more time, bro. I need just 2 more seconds. Fine, you're right. There you go. Now you got 20 seconds. Damn it. I did need more time. That's a Pepe like frog noise. Do you eat beans and toast and drink tea? I do actually drink tea. I love tea. There we go. Okay. That was intense. I tried my best. Right. This is me. I tried to do anime Shrek. I could have got it a lot better. But I focused too much on his... You can see, you can really see where I tried. I'll save you. Zix, let me see. I love Dragon Ball. Let's go. Ah, Dragon Ball slaps, bro. 2 ads? Okay, we're gonna wait for 2. I try my best. The time thing made me anxious. Lily, don't worry about it. Oh my, wait. I appreciate... It's over now. Oh no. Luna, I love it. I love it, but I really do appreciate the censor. Okay? Thank you. We are still... Yes. Thank you for signing it. I will save that so we can put it into the Discord. What amazing. Great job. Although, I am curious... Right, I ask all of my artist friends this. Luna. The main question is, do you draw them and then cover them? Or do you just draw the cover and then draw around it? That's the big question. Do you draw the Tartars first? The world needs to know. Oh, that's sick. That's Sukuna. Oh. Timer stop. Timer stop. Draw the cover. Yes. Am I the goat? We'll see. The thing that bro did draw center instantly while we... Yeah. I'm just like, alright, cool. Sukuna and Lutz from Cartoon. I was trying to read the bottom of it as well. Wait, is that me? I've got a friend that loves Sukuna. First, because you would see the Tartars if I drew for... Very good point. Very good point. That's a little skibbity. Skibbity riz. Skibbity riz. Arlo. What the f, bro? Every time. Every single time. Gyat Riz part 1. McDonald's free Big Mac. Getting it Riz. Give me the toilet. Suck, let's see. That is sick, bro. That is sick. The title is Speaking Facts. Off. Listen, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Milk is just... Cheese is just a loaf of milk. A loaf of milk suggests liquid bread, and that is just beer. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. I tried to cook. Oh, you cooked. You cooked and cleaned. You served, my dude. You were serving cunt. Amazing. Oh, that's so good. I love that shit. Although, sure, I'll give it you. So milk is beer? No, liquid bread is beer. Angel. The hair is horrible. But listen. The like, if you didn't have a time frame, that would have been so good. And shading on this go burr. Like the eyes. You should run some categories that we could put into, we could add unlimited paintings. I know, right? Chat, do you want to do one more? Top 3 should get VIP. Oh. I feel like... Are you with me? I really don't know what to draw. Wait. I've got to do one more. There you go. Oh, wait. Did not put it in? Wait, what? Oh, well, that just spoiled it. There you go. I spoiled that one. A little bit to the... Oh, there we go. Right, so chat, look, we'll do one more. However, so for those who don't know, Failure, who is in my chat, one of the moderators, is also one of the leads on the Minecraft server that we are running, which is called HeroCraft. If you don't know anything about HeroCraft, that is completely fine. Let me run it down to you very quickly. Skip that song because it's poo. Wait, Layla. Lily, wait. Boom. So, here's what I'm going to say. So, HeroCraft is a Minecraft roleplay server, very similarly known as, if you know, GTA RP, like no pixel what you see like all of the big content creators doing, except we run our own. Now here's what I want to say. Super easy. The next theme is Masterpiece Minecraft Medieval Edition, okay? Can I get VIP? Luna, ahead of you. I will join next time. Burnout, so I'm playing Terraria. Don't worry about it, Cookie. Do not worry about it. I appreciate you being here anyway. Also, Terraria, Pog. But chat, so if they are good enough, we'll post them into the HeroCraft server. The HeroCraft server, which, by the way, we are probably going to have a couple hundred people playing on it at all times. You can have your painting put in there. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be 8-bit. It just needs to be... Wait, I got VIP? Luna, you did get VIP. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. I have over 100 VIPs that I could give out, technically. Let's go! So, chat, we are going to do one more. And we can see that we've got you guys in here. There's 6 of us. Boom, boom, boom. Look at you guys. I can only draw anime, though. Listen, do it. Do Minecraft anime, then. Just do... Boom. Your Hazard Diamond. Wait, did I get VIP? Oh, you did get VIP. Do you have any picture to reference? What's the theme now? Minecraft Medieval. And may I just say, I didn't do him justice. Let's go to Minecraft Medieval. Let me see. Like, we don't really have much to reference. You guys have free control. Do whatever you want as long as it represents medieval, like, fantasy vibes. And we can, like, kind of put it, it does, like, see this is 8-bit. It does not need to be 8-bit, okay? Don't do 8-bit if you don't want to. It could be as many bits. It can be 128, 256. You can make it full detail if you want to do it. Oh, wait, I got VIP too? Ah, I can't see it. I don't know. Yes, you did. You got it. Wait, what are we going to do? We are going to be doing, in fact, let me do medieval Minecraft anime. Maybe not. Maybe not doing that one. Anywho, ain't got shit on me. Yes, medieval Minecraft, medieval fantasy. Yeah, it could be medieval fantasy. A lot of just do medieval, okay? Medieval fantasy, wizardry, dragons, that kind of stuff. Does it show that I have the VIP pad? Although it does. In fact, let me just show you very quickly. See, you can see in the chat just here. There you go. So we got Suck has VIP, Lily has VIP, Arlo has VIP, Angela, you have VIP, and VIP on me. No, don't pee on me. That's sus. Pirates, yes. So there we go. So that's going to be your theme. Medieval fantasy, pirates, magic, dragons, whatever you want, right? This is a masterpiece, and this is going to be the last masterpiece that we do. There you go, chat. You've got one more time to join in if you want to join in. Shadows! Who are you people? Who are you people? You're welcome in. Chat, do me a favor. If you're over from my channel, go over and join over to send Shadows some love. Shados is a great guy who is actually part, and chat, if you have not been aware or alerted yet,
Fake
Okay.
Shack just resubscribed for 2
Shaq,
months.
baby. Let's go, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your prime. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in. Chat, those who don't know, Shados, Fake Shack, and I are part of a new team that we've formed. It is a content crew. We are going to be looking out for a couple more content creators. We're going to be looking at this soon. However, Shaq, Shados, and I are 3 of the members out of the 7 towards 9 players who are going to be in a content creator crew. We are called...
The Syndicate Crew.
It's gonna be pretty pog. That's gonna be cool. Oh damn, I haven't followed. Look at this Toby Flat. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And thank you again, Link. Thank you for the follow. Chat, we are doing Gartic. Now, here's what I have to say. Yak, I know you can draw. I know you can draw. Here's the deal. Last man, thank you for the follow as well. Here's the deal, chat. We're playing Masterpiece, right? The players in here, these guys can draw. These guys can draw. You want to see what they drew last? Let me go here so that I can get my files open and not show you guys all my nudie pictures. Downloads. Oh, I'll go to here, won't it? Yeah. Open sesame. See, so we're doing fusion, right? I gotta go. Skibbity bye. I'll see you later, dog. Gotta go now. Enjoy the raid. I did enjoy, dude. The theme for this one is medieval fantasy. It's Masterpiece. Wait, have I got all of them open or did I not? Okay, I'll do this. And then we've got boom. Then we've got boom. Boom. Some of the ones from today, they've been kind of cool, kind of pog. We got this Skibbity Rids. We got SpongeBob. The last one that we did, if you can't tell, was SpongeBob crossover theme. So I did Rick and Morty SpongeBob. We got SpongeBob X God of War, SpongeBob X The Simpsons, Skibbity Toilet SpongeBob, and then we did anime, which is anime Shrek, anime obviously, Dragon Ball Z again, Dragon Ball Z again, Dragon Ball Z again. So that's what it is. So this theme, chat, just to reiterate, medieval fantasy, right? Anything that is dragon, pirate, magic, anything that is that, this Masterpiece is a 20-minute timer. And we're going to start it, okay, chat? So we got Yak, there we go, look at you getting in. Gonna lurk for a bit, I'll be back soon. Shaq, thank you for lurking, bro, I appreciate it. Right, let's get in. And this is where, Yak, this is where you can see what the others like, this is what we can see, what you are like as well. Let's go. It does not have to be 8-bit. Let me reiterate, chat, it's not 8-bit. It is just medieval fantasy vibe. So let's see what you guys have got. Medieval. Ooh, wait. I want this. The way I used to love you, no, you don't wanna know. No, you're taking me home. I wanna see how this one goes. I know. How long? 20 minutes. Which that does remind me. Siri, set a 20-minute timer. This is my last one. Lily, don't worry about it. We're going to be raiding after this one as well. So if you... Siri, shush. If you guys... Don't forget, after the 20-minute one we've done, we'll do a rundown of it, and then we're going to raid anyway. So if you guys can stick around for the raid after this one, I'd appreciate you guys massively. Be kind of cool, kind of cool. Right. So I'm going to go down the pirate route, okay? So to start off, I think we should fill Mahar. And then we should go with a little bit of a dark and kind of like stain it. That's too... I need some of my PC to... Shaq, I saw this in his stream. What's gone on again, bro? What are you doing? No, I don't know. Well, that's kind of like... As much as I can get like a burn. But I have to get another PC in the meantime. Can you use your dad's again? Is that not an option? I'll take your current PC. I'll just take it. It's gonna get upgraded motherboard AM5, get an AMD Ryzen 9. Getting it. I mean, there's a bit of an upgrade there, then, bro, isn't there? You've gone from one to another. A Ryzen 9 though. CPU issue. To be fair, he's already sent it back to a shop already, Zine, and they've brought it back and went, yeah, it's fixed, and it just didn't fix. I saw it while you were in Shadow's stream earlier today, bro. Hella annoying though. Take me home, right, so here I think that the obvious start's gonna be is to start off with what? Start off as like a his hat, right? We're gonna do pirate. I'm saying here, and then we can have like his hair can go down to like here, you know, and his hair can extend, and then we have shoulders, and then it's gonna be his face will be around like here, like this, hand, arm, around, down, gun, 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 you know? Then we can have like strap, strap, strap. And then to finish it up, you know? Cookie right. OBS is not a good benchmark to rely on determining issues. So true. Right, so I think that's the route that we're gonna go down. I just need to envision it. Yak is a go of drawing gods. I've seen a couple of them, I know, but we've got a couple of people in here today, bro. We've got a couple of talented beans. I like beans. Right, let's keep going. I need to envision where it's gonna be now. Right, let's go. OBS is silly goose. OBS requires 8% of your CPU no matter what you do. That's kind of like the upsetting part. All the way down. There's hair flow. River flows in you. I say very likely to be. It's OBS, isn't it? It's open. Just like my legs on a Sunday evening for the missus, you know, shit. His beard needs to come in and like kind of nose, mustache. Flying Dutchman. That's the vibe we're going for now, right? And I can do it quite literally. Like this. I've not seen anything. The stream deck, I think, is also complete. No. Shaq, I can promise you, performance issues doesn't go through your stream deck anyway. It plays passively. It's like running a command in Minecraft. I have two of them right now. It really does. It can really screw with everything. Chances of it doing it though are low. Like, I can do as much as I want right now. Like, I could just flicker these on. I can turn one of them off and use the other one. It goes amazing. It goes deep. Fam, I mean, look, if I can do this. I did miss a chat though by doing that. Sorry. Pretty much. I've never had an issue. I mean, touch wood, I don't get an issue, but it's just more like so far I just haven't had an issue, you know? Hey, how's it going, everyone tonight? How are you doing? Hey, yo, gamer, how you doing, dude? That's how you want it. Nope, wrong. It's the bottom. I've had a few issues with Stream Deck. One time even hard locking your OBS. Hard locking the OBS has an issue with hard locking anyway. If you accidentally full screen, it'll full screen permanently. And you've got to try grab the very bottom corner and drag it and then let go of it and then it'll like unlock. It's the only way to fix it, and that's a known issue with them as well. Oh, it's hard locking your OS. Oh. Luna, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome soon. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to get his eye properly. Love having buttons though. Oh, so do I. Hey fam, is this open to join? Well, good if not. It is always open to join. I typically only do follower and chat. We also have Twitch Authent so that people can't just randomly join. So we do have that. Luna, this is the last one that we're doing today, but we are doing more Masterpiece Fusions tomorrow, and probably I'll do them a lot more as well because I do enjoy doing it and I miss being able to do it. So if you want to, and you don't have to feel obligated to do so, you can join in a Discord server and then you'll be able to see when we do it tomorrow for stream. We go live typically 3 hours prior to now, Monday, Friday. And HeroCraft needs more artwork, and the Minecraft server does need more artwork. That's true. Why has my DPI gone up? Ooh, okay, that's cool. Right, let's go. We've got a timer still shut. Don't forget, we've got 10 minutes left before this one is ending. Masterpiece 20-minute lock. Oh. Also, I know you mentioned Flying Dutchman vibes, but also just want to throw in so that's Davy Jones pirate. It's Davy Jones. So the vibe I was good. Yeah, I think I started going down the original route. I think I have just gone down Davy Jones from Pirates. I was watching it last night as well, so I'm like, damn, the music is fire. Oh, I know. I ain't gonna break your heart. Only vibes, chats. Hydrate. I'll hydrate in a second, Ty. Well, thank you. Do you feel death? Nah. I was running like Jack Sparrow through central London today, and I had no remorse at all. I just owned it. Chat, if you were in central London at any point today, you'd have seen somebody running like Captain Jack Sparrow, and it was I. It was indeed me the entire time. You know what I am looking forward to, chat, as well, is Comic-Con. Not gonna stop. I'm only gonna break your heart. Break your heart. Hi, Don. How you doing? I ain't gonna lie. I'm cooked. And I'm trying your best. Don't you? I reckon you've got this. I haven't tried. I've never tried something like this before. Hi. Hi. How you doing? How's your day going, Darn? Why did I turn Southern American? Who knows? I think I'm gonna cut it off on here as well and kind of make it more. I'll do like a rough, so you kind of see like this vibe and kind of make it turn more ominous and dark rather than it being like a wanted poster. You know what I mean, like that under the water, kind of like he's sunken vibe. Because I was originally going to go down this vibe, and I did not follow it at all. So I just went, nah. Later, mate. I'm from work a bit, Evie. Of course you're Evie. You're always Evie, because you're just Dorny, Yorny, Evie, Steepy, you know? And that's why we love you. Aye. Right, so let's go down for the underwater route. Okay, I reckon that'd be good. Okay, so by the way, we don't do ages, by the way. It's for your safety as well as mine. Just don't mention age in the chat. It's good for you, good for me. Back. Welcome back. Right, now let's get going with the underwater vibe. I wish there was like a spray kind of brush-esque tool on this rather than just doing like dots and lines. It'd make my life a quintillion times easier. Because the rough sketch art style that I like to do a little bit of back shading, but I can't do like this. It kind of makes it more or less impossible. Still a vibe though. Shaq, what did you guys get up to, by the way, on Shadows of Stream? I'll be in 2 years. I am 100% gonna take that as you are 29 and a half. Yep. I don't want to know if I'm right or wrong though, so I'm just gonna assume I was correct. How good of a guess was that, chat? Right, let's go big. Let's go to here. Let's get on the board. God, if there was just a spray. Spray'd make life so much better. It's cool as well, because like if it's gonna be on a Minecraft painting chat, which it will be. If it's gonna go on a Minecraft painting, it's gonna be really small. So your fine details don't need to be as fine. Make them fine anyway. I bet you look fine today, chat. Well, you look fine as hell. Chat, confirm for me. Do you look fine? Do you look skibbity toilet? No! Don't exit out. I bet you look fine as hell. But you look amazing. And we need to go deep shades. Zine's gonna have a panic attack when he sees these come through. Guaranteed. Right, you need to be a bit brown. Me on Border Patrol. You. Make you a little bit blue. No, this is wrong blue. That blue can go here. We just make it a little bit deeper. Chat, you've got 4 minutes, by the way. Nah, my artistic sense is going to be... It's like a rock. You could stick figures and be like, good damn art. Yeah, dude. It's some good art. Shadows did a horror game, did some song reaction, and played Gothic and Among Us. I want to get back into doing Among Us with you guys, chat, as well. So if you guys want to do modded Among Us by any time, and you guys like, yeah, I could do modded Among Us. I am terrified. We could do it. I used to host chaos lobbies as well, so that'd be really cool to get back into, you know? Skibbity Greek. Skibbity French. Big up that Tesco. Let's go. Big up Tesco. Let's go. Getting the most expensive item meal. Yeah, bro. Listen, what you're trying to tell me, Lorig, that you don't go in and you don't get yourself a smoothie. You don't get yourself a big sandwich, and you don't get yourself what's a good snack that you can get. A sausage roll as well. Of course you do. Also, thank you for the follow. Welcome to this internet. Hope you're having a great day today. Yes, I do. I am commonly known for doing that. Get a smoothie, walking out middle class. Bro, exactly, my dude. That's why we have these kinds of musics going, because we only do that. We rip Tesco off. We're like, Tesco, you ain't winning today, my dude. We are the winners. Look at me. I am the captain now. And we do that. And we do that like at least twice a week. I used to go into Tesco all the time and just go, yeah, I'm a Tesco meal deal kind of guy. I was all for it. I like the cut of your jib. I like your cut, G. Exactly. Right, let's get a deeper blue. Don't forget, this is like almost bottom of the ocean. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the ladies sleep all right. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, where women sleep at night. I think that's the lyrics. Bombaway. Bombaway. What's the time on chat? You've literally got 2 minutes left. I also don't know what color the Flying Dutchman is. Davy Jones, what color are you? I usually get a meal deal on my way to work at a football club, but now season's over and I'm missing it. Oh, you're just like, give me the Krabby Patty formula, crabs. I feel that though. That is spaghetti on rice. It doesn't belong. Club card? Bruh. What are you saying, bruv? It's on my Apple Pay. Yeah, I'd have that one. What? Oh, there we go. I've got it on there. Yeah, I use my mum's as well. That's the mad thing. I use my mum's club card. If I don't, she gets all sad. And we can't make our mothers sad. If you make your mother sad, damn. There's a place in hell reserved. You work at Wrexham. Ah, you know what? You must love Ryan Reynolds. Top guy. To be fair, that sounds like a joke. That sounds like sarcasm. I do love Ryan Reynolds. Oof, I would. And I'm straight. Prefer Rob. I mean, I'm not the guy to talk to about football, by the way. What do you think of Man United? Shit. What do you think of shit? Man United. Thank you. That's all right. Right, chat, there it is. It's now or never. You've got 20 seconds left. And then we're gonna find I've cooked. I'm so done. I'm not good. It's mainly Rob's idea, to be fair. Ryan just tagged along. Oh, okay, that's fair. So he's just claiming victory and he's just famous for it. Fair. Good job, Ryan Reynolds. You claimed another victory. That should no, please don't make that my last work. Please. Stop timer. Right, okay, you've got 10 seconds left, and he's going to be showing off. I'm terrified to see what's going on. I just pull pints. Hey, listen. Someone's got to pull pints. You know? I'm putting this in your rat's nest, Sin. Right, you ready, chat? Let's go. First off, we've got mine, which I'm going to completely ignore. Then we've got Lily, who I can't wait. Lily's got my vote. But the thing is, chat, right, so here's the thing. We're about to get into it. We've got Lily, Suck, Angela, and Rock. This is nuts. These guys are nuts. Lily, let's see what you've got. Show me what you've got. This is me. Let's just ignore him. It got worse as I got down to shading it. I like it. I like it. I gotta go, but thanks for the game. Oh, I love it anyway, Lily. I will see you soon. I love it. It's Luffy. Luffy the pirate. Right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Suck. What was that? What was it? Bro, what is... Who is that? When I was a young warthog. Lily, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing night. It was nice seeing you. It's Thorfinn. What? It's Thorfinn. Wait, did I save it? I think I didn't save it. Please say someone saved it. Angela, tell me what the f. Yo, Angela. Never public Discord server chat. Listen, boom, there you go. Join into Discord. Post all of the things that you see here. Post it into the share pics. Okay, that is... Okay, and next we've got okay, now we've got Yark. Yark, by the way, is there a specific name you want me to call you instead of like Yaquin? That is just what that really is. That is going in. That's going into the server. That is nuts. GG, well done. Just Yark. Say less. And this is Yark. Minecraft, medieval. I love pirate. I love pirate. Yar. Oh, chat, you guys are so good. Can we go backwards? Oh, wait, I can save. Boom, I saved sucks as well. That is... I thought... Okay, never mind. I'm never doing this again. I'm going to let you guys do this from now. What, bro? Angela! That's nuts. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He got X Games mode. Do you play Minecraft at all? Do you play Minecraft at all? Right, I'm going to disband the lobby, but chat, we're going to do this again tomorrow. Okay? Angela is number one. Angela, number one. Right, I'm going to go back. However, let's see who is... Let's see this person. We've got players who are live right now as well as us. We are second top viewed on this right now. She's playing... She's good at art, though. I don't want her to look at me and be like, huh? Don't ask, no ages. No ages in... That's one rule. Don't forget, suck. No ages in chat. It's there to protect you. It's there to protect them. Yep. No age. Whew, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You did not know. However, chat, right. Okay, so who is it that we want to go over to again today? I'm going to say... Let's go say hi to some friendo. Wizard Wednesdays? What is a Wizard Wednesday? Chat, you guys have been... It's been freaking dope. Let's go over and say good hello to our good friend Caprixa. Okay, chat. Chat, I have had an absolute blast today with you guys. You guys have been kind of fun to play with, and you've been even funner to chat with. I'm going to sit and chat with you guys for a couple of minutes if you want to. Let me just scroll down to the bottom of the chat. Boom. I love her streams. I do too. She's amazing. She's cool, and she's kind of pog. So... While we hit that raid, chat, don't forget, go show some love. Go join into Caprixa and drop her a follow. Check out what she's doing. She's doing some wizard shit. So that's going to be cool. However, chat, go say hi. Go say bye. All the jazz. Join into our Discord server. Boom, there it is. Join in. Drop all your pictures inside of the share pictures tab. We'll be live again tomorrow. Same time, same place, which is 9 p.m. BST for more BS and T. Until then, chat, thanks for an amazing night. Hope you're having a good one yourself. It's good to be back. Forza Centrosity HD, all that shit, okay? It's cool. We're having a good time. I'll see you tomorrow. More Gothic, more Minecraft, more vibes. Among Us, all the jazz. Until next time, chat. Adios. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Whistle, baby, whistle, baby.
Quack.
Let me go. Whoop-a-ba-da-ba. La da 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 da.